Please. So please. Hello.
Yes.
I read a few words this morning. I look at the bewitching smile of Justice. I thought a smile is a curve that sets everything right. And Justice Roy never drapes himself without a smile. And as Mother Teresa said, peace begins with a smile. I also would like to say what Paramahansa Yogananda said, let my soul smile through my heart and my heart smile through my eyes, that I may scatter rich smiles in all hearts. So you did it so in plenty, in so plenty. And if only we can have a magic wand in our hand, we will say, thou shalt not retire. Like many honorable judges of this court, you have shown deep engagement in doing justice despite the everyday burdens. You carried a rare charm that engaged the bar in productive contributions. I imagine yourself as a special choir master holding the court with all ease combined with sensitivity. The younger members of the bar, law clerks and interns are not ready to bid farewell to you. I too join them.
Lords, I echo the sentiments of the learned Attorney General. Lord, your Lordship's brilliance, legal scholarship, Lord, there cannot be any two opinions about it, and that would, my Lord, be a legacy, my Lord, your Lordships would be leaving. But one of the rare qualities, my Lord, which I have with my limited experience as compared to my seniors, my Lord, I have observed, is a rare quality of a sense of humor. My Lord, most of us on this side, we try to be humorous but end up being funny. Your Lordship knows the difference, but your Lordships had and have an excellent sense of humor. That used to ease the atmosphere and make us comfortable. During all constitution benches, when my lords were a member of the bench, the last word used to be given to his lordship after the pronouncement for some of the witty remarks which his lordships would come up with. Lord, it is believed that the judgments, the legal brilliance, scholarship, which is depicted in the judgments, will not ultimately remain in the law books and sometimes referred to when a case comes. But the real legacy or real remembrance of a judge, Lord, is how the judge on the dais was as a human being. Your Lordship's memory would linger on and on and on. Lord, thank you so much for being what your Lordships are. And I'm sure, my Lord, we will have, Lord, your Lordship's Lord, guidance hereafter also. Lord, I wish your Lordships and your Lordship's family very good health, the very, very satisfying, my Lord, third career. My Lord. Grateful to you, Lord.
Well, I endorse everything that the learned attorney and the solicitor have said. And sometimes, in thought, I ask myself the question, am I a complete human being? And the answer is no. And a complete human being is one who enjoys life in its plenitude, in its enormous plenitude. And a person who loves music, who is involved in theater, and yet 2 years from practicing here, going to Guwahati, reaching this institution, and on the way leaving footprints behind you wherever you have gone. That's your enormous contribution, not only to the law, but to the sensitivity that you have left behind. I remember, and my learned colleague Dushyant Dave told me, as when the Assam floods were on, how you worked together. You were the head of the Legal Service Authority, and how you helped people. I know that when you were addressing the deaf and the dumb, you conveyed, you converse with them in your sign language. I know that when on occasions and on parties, when the juniors are not being talked to, you go up to them and talk to them. I know how you conducted yourself in court, always listening to the juniors. You are the old school charm of this court. And that charm will remain with us for years to come. Nobody doubts the enormous caliber, your intellect, your clarity of thought, your boldness, your ability to rise above the occasion. These are some things that very few judges have. You are a complete judge. Thank you very much for who you are.
Dr. Chief Justice. A very interesting ceremonial bench, all three coming from the same college, Delhi University Campus Law Center. It binds you together. But my lords, during your long tenure, you have been blessed by Kamakya Devi in Assam and Lord Padmanabh Swami in Kerala. And you, in your innings here, have shown that complete variety, be it constitution bench matters, be it a small matrimonial matter, you've done yourself. Wish you all the health and the happiness.
Please, your lordships, Mullets, as I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude, Mullets, and like to add, Mullets, that my Lord's kindness, graciousness, Mullets, compassion for the downtrodden, Mullets, that will always be appreciated, Mullets, and Mullets, relief-oriented, Mullets, approach, always in the bench, and ability to put in hard hours, Mullets, and long hours, Mullets. Mullets, wishing my Lords all the best for future endeavor, Mullets. Deeply obliged, Mullets. Grateful.
But one thing that I noticed whenever I sat in my Lord's court was, whenever a junior argued, there was full encouragement. And if my Lords did not know the name of the junior, my Lords will ask for the name and have it recorded in the order. I think that was great appreciation for the junior, recognition for the junior. I think all the members of the bar are very happy. Of course, my Lord's interest in music is also known, and that whenever the situation in the court was becoming far too serious, my Lords knew how to diffuse the situation, and then with a joke. That again is something which will always be remembered. That we'll miss my Lords.
My Lord, this is justice, if I can be permitted to add with your Lord's. My Lords, Lord, I must say one thing, Lord, adding to what my distinguished friends have said at the bar, that you applied, Lord, the equality clause with great vigor and dignity to every member of the bar. And that's what really matters for the bar. Lord, I think it was a great, I would say, strength, that the bar got from your Lordships, the encouragement and Lord, recognition of young members of the bar. Lord, that was something which Lord bar would be eternally grateful. And Lord, if I can add to what learned solicitor said, my Lord's judgment may remain in the books, but your Lordships will live in our hearts, Lord. We wish your Lordships a lot of happiness and happier golfing times.
Yeah, I just add, Lordships. I've seen Lordships from the first day I attended the Guwahati High Court, till your last day as a judicial judge of this court. All I can say, I pray for a very good life, Lordships. You've been extremely kind when we were young, as we went through the profession, reached the stage. I wish Lordships a very good life, happy golfing, and I am sure you'll have much more time enjoying our arts and other passions. All the best.
May I just add? Well, Lords, we are definitely going to miss the glint in the eye, whether it was the humor or it was the firmness. And that was for us to assess from time to time. You will be sorely missed, surely.
Just two things, if I can add, my lords, to the long illustrious list that has already come from my seniors and colleagues, my lords. One more thing that came out in the corridors was that amongst your lordships, law clerks and interns, whoever was able to finish the work would be taken with your lordships for one of the cultural events if your lordships were going. So that also came out. And my lord's courtroom, my lords, it was like a Buddha's courtroom, my lords. We were never felt rushed. We were all always relaxed. We made our point. That was always up to your lordships. But we as members of the bar, young, senior, women, men, all of us have felt very privileged to appear before your lordships.
I'll just add one aspect, plus seconding Ms. Bhati. Your Lordship's court, there was humor on one side, but there was also discipline on the other side. It was a perfect balance of both. So as lawyers, we really had to very carefully prepare ourselves, and it brought out the best in us as lawyers to address that court. And that court and your Lordships will be sorely missed.
May I please
Add just 2 or 3 sentences to what our
the learned friends have said. It's always been a pleasure appearing before justice. And the smiling face is all, it's always been said that a smile costs you nothing, but it earns the whole world. So I just want to wish you, sir, Godspeed, God bless, and as one golfer to another, happy golfing.
May it please, my lord. But the lordship has been not just a very patient listener. Your lordship has been a great listener. There's a lot of difference when it comes to in the case of a judge. And you could still complete the day's list without keeping anything pending. This has puzzled us. How could you listen so patiently and also complete the list? It has been a magic in your court. You have been extremely kind to juniors. Lord, there are many juniors who have evolved in this court in the last few years because of it. And we owe that to you. And three, my Lord, knowing your love to arts, we had one opportunity to appear in your Lordship's court. And the pride and honor of a Bharat Ratna awardee was, my Lord, duly acknowledged. And the world of arts across the globe, my Lord, felt associated with your Lordship's, Lord, gesture in law. And finally, my Lord, it's not only us, your brothers and sister judges, my Lord, will now start missing you, your presence of mind and the great sense of humor. Wishing you and praying you the very best for a great life. Appreciate you.
What do I say? As a colleague who I've known last 6 years, Justice Hrishikesh Roy, shared the collegium with him. I know his intellect. I know his sense of balance. Mr. Sybil said he was a complete judge. No, he was a complete man. His sense of humor to make things easy, his balanced approach, whether it's the court or otherwise, was extraordinary. That apart, his patience, his demeanor, his calmness has an impact on all of us whenever you interact with him. And you feel that you're talking to a person who has knowledge and wisdom. As a judge, there's 3-4 words I can phrase him in. It will be legal acumen, knowledge, reasonableness, and practicality, all built into one person, which is very difficult to get. Somebody said he's like Buddha, but he is disciplined. It requires a lot of equanimity and balance and sense of justice to be able to do this. Coupled with the sense of compassion he had, and which got reflected in his judgments, dealing with issues of human, when you're dealing with human beings. That apart, he's an all-round. Be it sports, be it music, be it books, and whatnot. I think it's very difficult to find a person like him be on the bench because invariably most of us get drawn towards more black and white work rather than other things. So he's maintained that balance personally. I've had occasions when we share a dinner or something, and our conversations were always very widespread. And I also came to know about his interest in stories about partition. And he borrowed some books and went through and came back to me and we gave his thoughts about it. He's a remarkable person. We'll all miss him on as far as the bench is concerned, but he's bound to be here. He's bound to be in our hearts. His memories will linger on for a long time, almost with all of us. We're present here in huge numbers, and I can tell you, people on the bench will also remember him for a long time. Thank you for being part of us. This is Roy. My brothers.
I would also like to say a few words. I met Justice Roy long ago at the National Judicial Academy in Bhopal. I was a rookie judge then, and he was 2 years senior to me. But he was then as he is now, grounded, good-natured, and completely without airs. He immediately wrote an affectionate letter to me back at Hyderabad. I received the letter. He added me to his mailing list, the Atman magazine, which he had brought out in Guwahati High Court. I would regularly receive it every month. He has been a dear friend to me through the years, though we did not really keep in touch once he moved on. He went on to Kerala. Today, as he lays down his judicial hat, I would like to tell you about some of the other hats that he has worn and he still wears that you may not be aware of. He was a Delhi public school student and he was a champion hockey player and a footballer. He represented his school in major events in both the sports. And on one occasion, when Delhi Public School beat Modern School in a football match, he was solely responsible for it. And the school declared a holiday on that occasion. And I'm told that all the dipsites, as the DPS students call themselves, they all remember that. The people of that era still remember him for that great event and the celebration that followed. Then today, now he is an avid golfer, as some of you may know. And I'm sure he'll become a champion at that sport also, now that he'll have a lot more time to spend on the golf course. He is a voracious reader and he generously gifts books to all the guests who visit him at home. He is also a theater aficionado, and in his college days, he had himself directed a play. All his law clerks and interns are treated to English and Hindi plays as part of their itinerary. As my law clerks are present, I would beseech that they do not take a leaf out of that book because I myself was treated to all those plays by him. So I'm at the receiving end, I cannot give. Now, as he lays down office, you can be sure that he will not retire. He will move on. And I would take this opportunity to wish him all the very best as he opens new chapters in his life and faces new challenges. I bid you adieu, my dear friend.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna. Thank you, my brother Justice Sanjay Kumar, for your gracious words. The Attorney General and all the other leaders of the bar, including the President of the Supreme Court Bar Association and the Supreme Court Advocate on Record Association, the current leaders of the bar, and the future leaders of the bar. As a young child, holding the fingers of my father, Kishori Mohan Roy, I came to Delhi in 1971 to begin my studies in an English medium school. In Assam, I was a student of a government school offering education in Assamese medium. And eventually, as I always wanted to become a lawyer, I started my legal career in 1982 in this very court. The occasion for me to say the first word was a direction by my then senior, Shri M.L. Lahoti sir, who is present here, to ask for a passover of an item in this very courtroom. The courtroom then was headed by the then Chief Justice Y.V. Chandrachud. Let us say it was item number 17. And item number 16 had many lawyers. So it was a crowded front row. So I had to push my way to say the word Passover. And to my great horror, I realized that I said Passover, but no sound was coming. My vocal cord was not working. I suppose these kind of experiences are there for the young lawyers. So next time when I pushed past and I said, Passover, please item be passed over, at least I visualize this, may not be correct. There was a very stern look because I had a very belligerent tone of saying Passover. The Chief Justice thought that why this young man is trying to say this Passover word with in such a belligerent tone. But that is how perhaps most of us start our journey as a junior. You have mentioned with some kind of affection the the way I perhaps treated the juniors in the bar. As a young lawyer, I used to rush uh, physically to the courtroom concerned to give the appearance slip. Those days, you have to give the appearance slip to indicate who are the lawyers who are appearing in a particular matter. Because at the end of the day, in the day's proceedings, the names of all the lawyers will be mentioned. So if I find my name mentioned in the day's proceedings, I used to feel very happy. So I thought the young lawyers today also are no different, like those in 1982. So they would also appreciate their names being seen in the court proceedings. So that was one of the reasons why I used to try and record their names. Today, sitting in the same very courtroom, but presided over by an equally respected Chief Justice, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, and flanked by my beloved brother Sanjay Kumar, I truly say that I feel fulfilled. You have so many kind words to say for me, and I appreciate your graciousness and your tact in avoiding to bring any negativity to the discourse. My family members and my brother judges, Chief Justice Bishnoi from Guwahati, my brother judges Chaudhary and Unni Krishnan from Guwahati are present. I thank you for your kind presence. My family, my wife Chandana, elder daughter Kajri, who is a lawyer, younger daughter Sharati, who is not a lawyer. The first time when I came to the Guwahati High Court after being invited to come to the bench, we, along with my mother, Prabhavati Roy, in one vehicle, we all squeezed in. Children were much younger, and we entered the courtroom where the oath was to be administered. And all lawyers were similarly attired with their long gowns. And the comment of my younger daughter, who was much younger then, said, Devta. Devta is what we call dad in Assamese. He said, Devta, all these people are looking like penguins. That was the comment of Sharati. I think I've embarrassed her enough. I hope that my journey of 19 years in the bench and how many years? 1980 to 23 years in my career in law as a lawyer and as a judge. I hope my senior, Sri M.L. Lahoti in Delhi, Sri J.P. Bhattacharya in Assam, those of us in J.P. Bhattacharya chamber were recognized in Guwahati High Court as people of the J.P. Gharana. That was very unusual because I'm sure all of us, if I share the notes of, let us say, Justice M.K. Sharma or Justice Amitabh Roy or the former Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi, we'll all have the similar style of preparing the case notes. That is what we learned from our senior J.P. Bhattacharya. So I hope that both my seniors and my parents, my mother, she could not be here because of physical reasons. My mother, Prabhavati Roy, and my father, Ishori Mohan Roy. I hope as I exit finally from courtroom number 1, I hope they would feel that I have fulfilled their dreams and I have lived up to their blessings. Thank you very much.